from Finn Park this evening. Finn Harps won, Bohemians won. Very tight game overall. Bow started off really well in the first half. Had a good few chances. Again, they kept us in. Took Harps time to get into the game. A few half chances in the first half. I thought the referee, David McGrath, lost it in the first half. He booked 6 players, I think it was, including Promise, who got sent off later on in the game. Bows took lead in the second half by Junior Promise. Ball ricocheted in the box and he put him in the corner. 10 minutes later, Harps got the equaliser, the first goal of the season, scored by Ryan Connolly after a great move in the midfield by Bashan Harry. A wonderful pass and goal was on brain quality. Thought the game petered out then in the second half, as I said before. Promise got sent off for second bookable offence on Boyle, who gave him a torrid game overall during the night. A couple of big games now coming up for both sides. Bohemians come up against Shamrock Rovers, the Dublin Derby next week, and Finn Harps got 2 games back to back, Friday night in Ballyfay against St Pat's, and the following Monday the North West Derby against Sligo Rovers. 2 points on the board for Harps. We're second bottom at the moment. So early signs of promising with a couple of new players coming in. I know it's a long season, but I think we do need to start getting one soon after Drogheda beating UCD 4-2. I'm looking forward to the new season, looking forward to the games, and all I can say is up the Harps.
Alright lads, just a quick reaction to the game last night up in Finn Park between Bows and Finn Harps. It finished 1-1. Really disappointing night. That's the sort of game where we have to be coming away with 3 points, and I think we had plenty of chances to get the 3 points. We went 1-0 up through Promise on Sherry. On what was a bitterly cold night, I have to say. My God, it was cold. Promise on Sherry gave us the lead in the second half. Early on in the second half, Finn Harps equalised quickly after with Ryan Connolly broke down through the left hand side. I think there's still the same kind of softness, the lack of leaders in this team that you just can't be having. I think we even after it went 1-1, we still had chances. Like we'd a couple of decent chances to score. Another thing that I have to note, the refereeing performance was shocking. Like there was 7 yellow cards handed out in the first half alone, and I think Dan Lambert allowed it on Twitter. That was maybe 1 bad tackle. Ryan Connolly was probably the only bad tackle. And there was 7 yellow cards given out. It was, and then that came back to bite us as Promise Amasheri was sent off near enough the 90th minute for contesting the ball in the air. It's never a red card. He jumps for the ball, backs into Ethan Boyle and gets sent off. I don't understand it, to be honest. That's him out of the derby now. And that's a shocking performance from the referee. But look, we can't really blame the ref for the result. A lot of it was our own downfall. Didn't create enough. I don't think we didn't use the wings enough. I think Harps have, where you can get at Harps is down the wings, because they play the 3-back. They leave space wide in between the wing backs and the full backs. He didn't exploit that at all. I thought we left it too late before making any subs. Like Stephen Mallon should have been coming on well before when he did. And look at, it's just as I said, it's another one of them nights where come the end of the season, if we're not finishing third, we'll be looking going, there's 2 points dropping. But I suppose sort of a credit has to go to Finn Harps. They made it tough for us. But again, as I said, we should be doing better. So that's it. Really disappointing night. Oh God, cheers, man.
Friday night 4, UCD 2. Fantastic, phenomenal, unbelievable. Every name under the sun. Defence, midfield, attack, all over the park. We were phenomenal that tonight. First half, incredible. Even that defence has stopped the likes of Kerrigan and Colin Whelan, who, in my opinion, two dangermen for UCD. There's no doubt now when they finish the degrees in the summer, they'll be getting bigger moves now, let's say, other League of Ireland, let's say Premier Division clubs. But, the first goal from Gary Deegan, by God, unbelievable. Second goal as well from Chris Lyons, by God again. 2 goals there from Lyons tonight. To me, he was definitely the man of the match. even Dean Williams as well when he got the fourth goal. Tight angle sticks in the second half. Bad mistake from McCabe as the keeper. He kind of punched the ball out, came to Carragher, sticks over his head and sticks into the net. But look, it was all good tonight. Especially Sean Rotten as well. He's been very impressive since he came in from Lincoln. He played against Rovers on Monday night. Played tonight. It doesn't matter where he plays. Left back, left wing back, centre half. Anywhere in defence suits him. He's been phenomenal this year. So we have a big game now on Friday and Monday. If I actually forget who it is, I'm that buzzed up with the game. I have to look back in it. But yeah, no, look, if we can bring that sort of performance we did tonight, we'll be looking at good things there. But yeah, looking forward to that. And, roll on the next game. Thanks.
So no, a victory for Derry tonight, thanks to a 73rd minute strike from Patrick McElhinney. First half was pretty poor. Both sides didn't really create anything. Derry had a half chance from McGonigal, which is fired straight at the goalkeeper. Close to half time, they did have a chance. Great through ball by McElhinney. Instead of pulling the trigger, Drew Thompson tried to pull the ball back, and it was brilliantly pulled. It was easily cut out by the Shelbourne defence. Thompson probably would have been better shooting. Second half, Shelbourne started the brightest without really offering anything of note. Derry then started to grow in the game. In the 73rd minute, we took the lead. A cross from the right from Matty Smith. Ronan Boyce with a header down to the keeper's right. Good save by Webb, but unfortunately for him it fell to Patrick McElhinney, who bundled it over the line. Final 15 minutes, Shelbourne didn't really offer anything of note. Brian Maher, who didn't have a save to make all night, was pretty much the same in the final 15 minutes. Derry had a breakaway chance, but McGonigal was brilliantly dealt with by the Shelbourne defence. He was kept pretty quiet. It's a fantastic start for Derry. 8 points in the first 4 games. 4 very tough games. And up next is a away trip to UCD next Friday night. Let's see what happens. Cease.
Hi guys. Massive win for the Saints last night against their big rivals Rovers. I'm absolutely chuffed to finally overcome that 4-year gap and beating them. I think every player was superb. I couldn't really fault anybody. I have to give a shout out to how good Redmond was at the back. For a young lad, absolutely looked like an experienced defender. Was solid all game. Adam O'Reilly really impressed me in midfield. He didn't show any of the Rovers players any kind of respect. Stuck into them constantly. Great few flying tackles. Forrester again. He has to be one of the best in the league at this stage. Every week it's consistent performances out of him. Great to bounce back after 2 fairly shit results. Like Sligo at home, right, fair enough, you can understand that. We only really start playing the last 10 minutes and then Bows away, just don't talk to me about that. It was an absolute disaster, poor performance. But Tim's instilled this good kind of discipline in the lads. It looks like, are fighting for the ball. Last couple of years under Hardy Kenny and even under O'Donnell at some stages, we showed Rovers well too much respect. Richmond for years was a very hard place for a lot of teams to come and get results, especially Rovers. Like, I think I was reading a stat that before 2019, Rovers had only won in Richmond Park twice in the space of, like, I think it was 7 years or 8 years maybe. So, like, we want that again, because Rovers have seen us as a handy 3 points for the past few years. But in terms of going forward, we have to be consistent. We need to go to Harps and get a win, and we need to go up to Derry and put in a good performance to get some kind of result out of a very good side. That's what this league is about. It's kind of open. A lot of teams are dropping points very early, so don't run away with it, which makes it a bit more competitive. But I do think that if we can stay consistent, we'll still be knocking about at the end of the season. Alright, thanks guys.
Full time, and it's Blues 2, Galway 2, and yeah, I mean, you want to say that you wouldn't be too disappointed with a draw before the start of the game, but really, yeah, I am disappointed. Like, I'm furious with how we performed in the second half. First half, there was only one team in it, and it was us, and deserved to be 2 goals up. Galway didn't. I don't think had a shot on target in the first half, and I think if you asked their fans, they'd say like it was probably the worst that they played in a while. But I mean, the difference in the second half is as simple as saying everything I said about Waterford applies to Galway, and everything I said about Galway applies to Waterford in the second half. I mean, it was woeful. It's on the manager, I think, this time, making those substitutions way too late. They needed to be made in the 60th minute. Certainly not when there was like 12 minutes to go. And then Richard Taylor, I mean, you can't hold the manager responsible for that. Richard Taylor made a stupid decision, getting involved with another player that he didn't need to, and effectively handicapped the game for us. We were extremely lucky to get away with a draw, and if we don't pick up our performances, then we're going to be in for a long season, and we might not be going back up.
Hi everyone, this is my fan reaction to Sligo Rovers v Dundalk, our first home game of the season. It's a disappointing result because I thought we were the better team, but unfortunately the pitch wasn't in great condition, so it was hard for both teams to play, to be honest. It made it very difficult, but a couple of bright performances for us. I think Paddy Kirk was man of the match in my opinion. He was fantastic from start to finish. A couple of very, very good challenges, and I thought he was good going forward, linking up with Carl O'Sullivan and Will Fitzgerald on the wings. Gary Buckley thought it a very good game as well, and Aidan Keena as well. A couple of good chances in the first half, but unlucky not to get in the score sheet. Dundalk going forward, I don't think really caused us a lot of problems. I think Nando and Buckley at the back were quite good. Lewis Banks had a very, very good game as usual, and McGinty as well saved us a few times. But yeah, I think it's a good start to the season for Rovers, still unbeaten. But leaving the showgrounds today, I can't help but feel a little bit disappointed that we didn't get the 3 points. First home game of the season, it was great to be back. Very, very good crowd, great atmosphere. So delighted for that. Coming off the bench, Tashay McKeough played quite well. Mark Byrne as well, a couple of very young players playing very well. And Jordan Hamilton as well. He only got 10 minutes or so on the pitch, but when he got the ball, he held up well. Overall, a good result. Still unbeaten in the league, the first 3 games. Cannot complain at all. And we look forward to Drogheda away next week.